Our next presentation is about digital security, and Associate Professor Dr. Besim Yildirim and Muhammed ATAULLA will present their paper. Its title is the Digital Security Act 2018 and the Obstacles to Freedom of Speech and Freedom of Media in Bangladesh. Welcome, Muhammed.
Welcome, ma'am. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving me time. I'd like to introduce myself at first. My name is Muhammed ATAULLA, and I'm from Bangladesh. And now I'm studying PhD in Atatürk University, the Department of Journalism. So our today's topic is the Digital Security Act 2018 and the obstacles to freedom of speech and freedom of media in Bangladesh. I want to introduce Bangladesh at first. That Bangladesh is situated in South Asia, and it is the 8th most populous country in the world, and it has 163 million of people, and it has land borders with India from 3 sides, and one side one side is Myanmar, and another side it has the Bay of Bengal. The Bangladesh government adopted the Digital Security Act 2018 on 8 October 2018. But this law, media experts are very much concerned, because this law has great influence on the media and media workers and the journalists, as the law treats espionage as the original record of any information from government, semi-government, or autonomous organization. It means if any journalist wants to do an investigative report about corruption of the government, it is impossible in this law. Purpose of the study, the aim of the study is to examine the Digital Security Act 2018 and how this law challenges the freedom of speech and freedom of media in Bangladesh. Bangladesh Constitution recognized the freedom of speech and freedom of media. Research method, as research method, we selected content analysis, because it is related to our research, and we try to compare it with Bangladesh Constitution, and we try to find out how the articles of this law challenges freedom of media and freedom of speech. The thought of freedom of speech. Freedom means anyone has the right of doing and saying whatever they want, without any obstacle and interference. On the other hand, the word speech means people say and write what people say and write to express themselves, including ideas, opinions, thoughts, and feelings. It means whatever people say, write, publish, or convey to others. According to this explanation, we can say the freedom of speech indicates the right of asking, saying, and writing something or doing something for showing emotion free from any obstacle. Freedom of speech and freedom of media under the law of Bangladesh. As a basic right, the freedom of speech and the freedom of media guaranteed by the Bangladesh Constitution. Article 39 of the Bangladesh Constitution says, opportunity of thinking and conviction is assured. Every citizen has right to freedom of speech, the freedom of expression, and freedom of media are assured. In fact, in Bangladesh, even the Constitution gave the freedom, but the real situation is different, because their media are under pressure always by the ruling parties. They can cancel the license, they can stop a publication, everything. And in this part, we compared the standards of freedom of speech in international documents. And we found that Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, they recognized freedom of speech and freedom of media. European Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms, the American Convention on Human Rights, the African Charter of Human and People's Rights, the Arab Charter of Human Rights Association of Southeast Asian nations. All of the organizations, they recognize freedom of media and freedom of speech. In this part, we try to find out some examples of victim journalists of the Digital Security Act. The media in Bangladesh have been allegedly following self-restriction because of a dubious demonstration, that is Information and Communication Technology Act. Under this act, 25 journalists, a few hundred of bloggers and Facebook clients were apparently detained in 2017. And Bangladesh ineffectively ranked at 152nd out of 180 recorded nations in the Press Freedom Index 2020 delivered by Reporters Without Borders. And in 2020, in COVID time, there were mass arrest against journalists and media workers because they tried to publish news about the corruption of the government. And in this section, we gave some example of the victim journalist of Digital Security Act of 2018. Mushtaq Ahmed is a famous writer, and he was arrested and he was in jail for 1 year and he died in the jail. And there was mass protest about this matter, and he was a victim of this law. Shahidul Alam, he is a famous photographer, writer, and social activist. Even he won international award for his photography. He was captured August 5, 2018, because he gave an interview to the Al Jazeera television. And he was also victim of this law. And Rosen Islam, she is also famous journalist. She is famous for investigation journalism. She also won UNESCO Prize for her investigative journalism. She also captured in the Ministry of Health by this law. And case analysis under the Digital Security Act 2018. According to a report of Daily Pratham Aalo, it is a famous newspaper in Bangladesh, the sum of 1,135 individuals were captured in 732 cases recorded under the Digital Security Act all over Bangladesh in 2020. The greater part of the claims is not proved. Most of the cases in this law, those are not proved in the courts. A large number of the cases filed under the 25 and 29 section. The government passed the Digital Security Act, rejecting section 57 in 2018. Since then, the majority of the cases are being filed under section 25 and 29. Out of the 330, so it's forwarded to the cyber court all over the country. More than 200 cases were recorded under those two sections of the Digital Security Act. No rights given for the protection of the victim. The victim of this law, they cannot protect themselves. It means they cannot take the shelter of the court and law. But unfortunately, for other crime and activities, they can protect themselves. Complication of freedom of speech and freedom of media under the Act in Bangladesh. Actually, there are some complications. The first one is police, it means law enforcement authority, they got huge power. It means they can arrest anyone if they want. And section 57 illustrates the obstacles to the media, free media, when somebody disregards the law of Section 57, the punishment is at least 7 years of jail and limit of not more than 14 years. It means if anyone get arrested by this law, he will get minimum 7 to 14 years jail and money fine of 10 million Bangladeshi taka. It means near about $118,000. The law specifies sentences maximum 14 years prison and fine 10 million Bangladeshi taka, or with both for publishing, promulgation against freedom war and the father of the nation by utilizing digital platforms. The offenses under the section 17, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, and 32, and 34 are the offenses without bail. Therefore, sections 54, 55, 56, 57, and 66 of the ICT Act 2006 were cancelled altogether by Digital Security Act. The Digital Security Act law includes some main complications as below. This law provides limitless power to the law enforcement authority to enter houses, inquiry the workplaces, substantial searching people, hold onto computers, servers, and networks, all the things identified with the computer and digital forms. As per this law, police are able to capture anyone just on doubt with no warrant and do not need to endorsement from any authority. This law experiences ambiguity and using words and terms, those could be misjudged and utilized against media. Digital Security Act will make an environment of dread and fear and terrorizing that will make news casting, investigation, and particularly analytical news coverage practically incomprehensible. This law will make alarm among all the media activists, client of computers and digital devices and networks. It is. So using this controversial law, many individuals were captured only for talking before on the media or on Facebook or social media. Minimum 25 of the famous journalists were graded under the section in 2017. And in 2017, surprisingly, many blog writers and Facebook clients were captured under the law for publishing opinion on social media. So it is very disturbing that more than 20 provisions of the digital security law conduct with crimes and sentence. 14 of them are without bail, while 5 of them are bailable and 1 of them is negotiable. Minimum sentence is 1 year in jail and maximum sentence is life term. However, in the Act, the general punishment is 4 and 7 years. These punishments unavoidably create an environment of dread and fear. The enacted digital security law will challenge the freedom of speech in many unexpected ways. Media workers are worried about the danger of extreme punishments for expressing opinion on the internet or in the media. Even there are some crimes, those are non-bailable. And another dangerous thing is that police can arrest anyone in any time without any warrant. So this law is very much dangerous for media workers, journalists, and social media clients. So in the last part, we suggested to modify this law. It is necessary for free media and freedom of speech. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for the presentation. I just wonder about that thing, but I will ask